Hey YouTube, welcome. Well, I'm two tokened here in the Decathlon event. It's the final chance. I mean, there's a event number 9 we could look at as well. This is the final limited event, but unfortunately this isn't a limited event where I can really leverage a great skill advantage. We can potentially leverage our ability as a community to think through exactly how to break the weirdness of this format, but the weirdness of these cheaty formats. So I should say Turbo Draft, to be clear, Turbo Draft, sit down, blah, blah, blah. Every spell you cast will cost 5 generic mana less. That's the headline. 5 generic mana less on all of the spells we're about to draft. And this is Strixhaven. Strixhaven has colorless lessons, which if any of them are 5 or less mana, they're free. And Strixhaven has Prismari, which is big spells, like 7 and 8 mana spells is practically the theme of, not practically, like it is, it's just the theme. Like 7+ mana spells is the theme of one of the schools, and we're drafting against bots, so we're not drafting against AI that has been tuned to understand how the format is broken. We just get to secretly be the player at the table that understands the trick and get to draft to abuse it. The thing is, a couple things. Much like, say, drafting Homelands and Fallen Empires, things like this tend to be much more appealing theoretically on paper, you know, in your head, than they are to actually play. Like, they're like, oh, because it's a new puzzle, right? Simply the thought exercise of considering the impact of a rule like this on the format creates a new magic puzzle, and we like those. I mean, we were just solving with the community. We had Hat pointing out that the invitation, or not invitation, what is it called? Letter of Acceptance, as a 3 mana tap for anything mana rock that taps can also draw a card, is effectively a 5-color Mox that you can cycle for a card later. That's pretty crazy. But also, what is the value of a 5-color Mox in a format where all the spells are 5 generic cheaper anyway? You know, so that part, it's fun. I'm having fun even thinking about it right now, but I'm afraid that once we start playing, that's where the fun starts diminishing. And we're like, okay, well, now we see, sure, we figured it out. And we're figuring out that a bunch of other people figured it out, and we're throwing our haymakers for 2 mana at each other, and whoever lands the last haymaker and draws fewer lands gets to. And that's another fun puzzle. What's the mana base look like in a format like this? Anyway, I think we'll see how many I get. You know, maybe we'll run a couple of these and see. But I think the very nature of the easily solvable puzzle, like, let me tell you, we're not going to be the only ones who figure out that an 8 mana spell that now costs 3 might be something we want to draft here. But it just means that the skill advantage I might have against a lot of my opponents by being, on average, over 60% win rate drafter. There's no way I'm over 60% win rate in a format like this. Hopefully I have some advantage, but the idea that this is like the best format for me to be trying to achieve 3rd trophy is silly. But we just set expectations. I do not expect to trophy. If we manage it, we'll chuckle and say, great, see you at the cube draft. And maybe I'll try the other one. Although I don't know if my skill advantage in a random constructed format is much better than my skill advantage in something like a turbo draft. So, we'll just say we're going to have fun here. And as long as we set our expectations of the fun is in the playing of this event in itself, and of throwing away some fake money at some fake cards to win some potentially more fake money, that's fine. We're just killing time before we die here. I'll do it. Seems good. Let's jump in. If you want to kill time with cardboard, though, you're going to check out my sponsor, Card Kingdom, right? I'm going to be short and sweet with Card Kingdom. You know them. You love them. If you're buying cardboard, have them on your list. Give them a chance at your business. Explosive welcome indeed. This is exactly what we're talking about. Just exactly. Sorry, yeah, let me get out of your way. I just missed that. Boom, here we go. I wonder if something like whether this is Storm. What does Storm do in a format where you can play stuff for that cheap? But I think this probably wheels. Anyway, you think Archivist is busted? I'm reserving this. One nice thing is this is bot draft. We can take our time and discuss here. Archivist, one. You can cast this on turn 1. And so 1 mana 4/5 reach is certainly pretty darn. I bet we wheel this with bots though, and not necessarily Explosive Welcome. And I want to solidify. I want to actually really protect the Prismari lane. Prismari is going to be the big reward here. So I think the way we do it is to really make sure and to that end, you could make an argument to cut the Dean here. I don't know how the bots are set up to evaluate a gold card like the Dean. It's gold, but it's actually 2 mono, right? But is this, let's see. Look, we can get a 4 generic mana discount on our spells if we have to build. Yeah, I did explain why in the opening, but basically Prismari's theme in this format is 7+ mana spells. It's huge sorcery tribal. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I'm not sleeping on it. We were saying that if we're drafting against other humans who knew what was going on here, we would seriously consider the Archivist. As it is, we're just trying to wheel this. And we want to protect our lane against the bots. We want to keep the bots out of the big mana spells pair so that we can be that. So yeah, I'm going to take Welcome. And in fact, Inspiration, like, I mean, the trouble is like the next pick from the bots is going to be this Inspiration. Which is too bad because I'm trying to protect this lane, but I don't think this wheels. So we have to. Yeah, that's true. Like also another thing about Inspiration, since it does learn, it's really, you could make the case that this is the pick. This isn't going to kill as many things. I don't know how many 3 toughness creatures are going to be played in this format. It's going to be a lot of 4/4 elemental tokens, I think. Yeah, most lessons go into your main and not the side. But what I'm saying is, I was saying, hey, Explosive Welcome has huge value because we're getting 8 mana of value for 3, right? But what I'm saying is that if we get a, say, the 5 mana removal spell that's 5 generic mana, if we play Igneous Inspiration, we're paying 1 mana for the Inspiration, and then we get a free 5 or less mana lesson, right? So in terms of overall mana value, you could make the case that Inspiration, assuming we get the lessons, is better. This might wheel, we give both of these, this is a less priority pick. So actually, I'm now, yeah, well, that's the other question. So I was just going to get to that, Pablo. But do we main deck the lessons? The other thing is we're going to be land light, right? If we're land light, we may be short on playables. So the demands of, to even have lessons in the board. But I think we are going to want to play learn cards. So we might need to have some lessons in the board. Now, of course, we could just always rummage with the learn effect. Well, War Furnace, that's what I mean. That, like, I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but I was saying these formats we're doing the most interesting part of the format right now, which is thinking through pack 1, pick 1, and thinking about really what the impact of this rule is on the format and how it affects things. Once we get to the play and everything, it's going to be a little bit less. So I'm going to go with my overall gut here on the format, which is that we're going to want some big mana stuff in the learn slot, the learn lesson slot. And we're certainly going to wheel either the Welcome or the Archivist here. But I think this is the best Prismari Lane Protector as well. And it's pretty equivalent on potential value with the Welcome if we get the support. Tough pick and weird. I saw that explosive Welcome and thought, that's it. We're doing that. We're done here. And here we get a Fractal Summoning, which is 2 mana 5/5. But we get Masterpiece, and we can just get 2 4/4s for 2 mana instead. Let's see. Assistant here. This is my kind of Ornithopter. What else could we take? I mean, this is on color, but I don't think a 2 mana 3/4 that scries is particularly good here. Helix, if we wanted to. Yeah, exactly. This is going to be Prismari Mirror, so we should be thinking about that. Maybe even I think we should be thinking 3-color. So Snakeskin Veil and Breach are on my list. But yeah, I think free flyers that can stack one of these Insano spells back on our deck is pretty good. It's just weird because if we have this in our opener, we can literally play it for free, but do we want to, or are we supposed to wait until we get value? Anyway, we'll solve that puzzle when it presents itself. Let's take it. Here's one of those assistants, but here's I'm pretty interested in this as a 2 mana spell. This was the other thing I was thinking, but yeah, let's talk Golem. Free 2/3, and are we going to target only Reflective Golem? What are we going to target this with that we're happy about? Maybe we'll find something, but we could. This might again. I think these wheel. Yeah, Rise is exactly the type of learn we want, but it's not. Where it's not is Orzhov, double Orzhov hybrid. So we could hedge here if we want to risk double Orzhov. I don't know how that looks. Maybe it's a quote splash of black, or a quote. Yeah, go blank is on the play gonna get some value. Another thing we can probably try and wheel. Pillar Drop Warden, sure, that's interesting too. Maybe we take Rise on the wheeling theory again, that we'll wheel a Warden, we'll wheel an Archivist, a Go Blank, or a Golem, and we're happy with that. But yeah, this is obviously good, but I think if we just lean Prismari, we're going to be happier. And Alexis, this is a clean turn 1 play. I like that a lot. It is true. So, all right, let's just be grown-ups here and take the 1-drop 4/5. And then we can do things like grab a pop quiz or environmental sciences. Let's take that. Got to take that. We'll figure out where it goes. I'm going to put these in the board for now, but some of these belong main in this format. Iteration. You know, for the value, you got to sell that for $5 or whatever. Another assistant. Pat likes the assistant. Yeah, this doesn't feel like this format's card. All right, we'll take assistants. Yeah, ideally, we want to draw these late, right? Here's what I was talking about. Yeah. Right? We take this, and this lives in our board, and then Inspiration becomes 1 mana Lightning Bolt plus Swords. Can't I just play the extra card? I'm not sure what... I've lost the thread, JC. Can you reformat the question, and I'll try to explain myself. But I'm going to take this, and again, put these on the board for now, and we'll figure it out. Oh yeah, it's sure. I think iteration is playable. It's just that you'd rather be. If I told you, JC, you have a deck full of 2 mana elemental masterpieces or a deck of 2 mana iterations, what are you hoping for? You want the masterpieces, of course, but you're gonna play the iterations. I think prioritizing the spell, but these spells are just better in context by shaving off all that mana. Here is something to target the golems with, but just because it learns, I think all the learns are fine. Is this infinite? That's a good point. Let's talk that. And what do we do with it if it is? Yeah, okay. So infinite mana from Ignis. Let's take it, but then what do we do with it? Are there X spells in the format? Not really, right? Oh, there is. There's the we can make a wildly huge token. Is it? Let's see. Okay, so sorry. So you pay red, and then it returns to your hand, but then it costs red to bring back. Sorry, yeah, it's 2 red to do the light loop and only gives you 1. Okay, so not quite as amazing. Got it. Thanks. So then what are we taking here? Does anything matter? Access tunnel, cram session, enthusiastic study is fine. You know, I mean, again, if it's pulling us, if it's effectively +3/+1 trample and swords to plowshares, that's fine, right? Archivist comes back around as we hoped. We're going to grab that. You like first day? Yeah, maybe I need to probably refactor my brain. I mean, in the format proper, this was way better than first day, but I don't have my brain properly recalibrated to which learn spells are best given the -5. Pledge Mage costs 2 mana and gives us a well, oh wait, which Pledge Mage was it? It was the Prismari one, right? Oh yeah, here, let me as D suggested, let me update this, and then maybe it'll help people lock in on the weirdness of what we're doing. Probably won't, but it's one more clue. Because this is weirdness. What's this called? Turbo draft? Turbo draft. I'll just call it turbo. As turbo as the character entry in Streamlabs. So here's that first day. Let me reread. Yeah, hasting big stuff might be a better learn, you know, worth more damage than study a turn later. What does this do? This is free. So we cast this for free, and then whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, we put a book counter on this, and then we remove a book counter to add mana. Nah, then we can pay 3 to draw a card. That still seems too clunky. I think we're just on first day or curate. You know, curate 1 mana, find our better stuff. Cantrip seems fine. Versus effectively cantrip for lesson plans. Thoughts there? I'm going to take curate, but I'm not certain of that. Just going to... Well, Learn has the fallback mode of rummage. You don't have to go get something from your board. You can rummage away a land. So that's kind of the fail case. And Warden here is great, yeah. as we learn, not infinite, but we'll take it in. Maybe there's a mode for this that matters. I have announced that I'm putting all lessons in the sideboard, and we'll figure out what goes where during deck building. Let's not worry about what our main deck lessons are right now. 1 mana demonic tutor that might wheel over a fractal. Yeah, fractal summoning might not wheel, and it's real good. Pop quiz. Start from scratch. Solve. Conspiracy theorist might be okay just because of the. I mean, it's card advantage, and it's still you still get to cast stuff with a discount. But yeah, X is pretty crazy. So we're gonna get one of these locked in and see what we wheel. What's this? Opt. Expanded Anatomy is just a freebie. There's Heated Debate, which is important that it deals 4. A lot of stuff in this format has 4 toughness. So Debate or Anatomy. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, only for creatures. Turbo will have some big, as we see with the Archivist, yes, for sure. But we're going to see our share of assistance, and we're going to see our share of 4/4 elemental tokens. So, yeah, negate is probably where it's at on our counters if that comes up. Here's another twin scroll that, with these enthusiastic studies, is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's definitely debate versus anatomy. These, again, you can drool over the freeness of something like anatomy, but in a format where it's just a bunch of free giants, I'm not sure how much 2+1/+1 counters is going to move the needle on board states when we're all just dumping 4/4s and 4/5s. And yeah, one of them becoming a 6/7 could be the difference or whatever, but it's just like... yeah, vigilance until end of turn. If it was permanent vigilance. Anyway, I'm just saying it's not clear to me, and I'm going to take the removal. Again, it also continues to carve out our lane, although we're pack 2, so the bots have settled in. They're not switching. These aren't that exciting as lessons go, although better than nothing. But Arcane Subtraction for the learn. Oh yeah, let me read this. This is on color. What does this even do? When this attacks, you may put an instant source card from your graveyard on the bottom. If you do, exile the top. Okay, that seems pretty good. Turn 1, Dust Speaker. Go to town. Let's try it. It does get outbodied so fast, but if we do it on 1, we can get something going. Another Masterpiece. I'm going to take all these we can get, really. Team Pennant is free, but the equip stuff isn't. Hand only, yeah. Pop Quiz would be fine. But this is... Prophecy would be fine. Scry 2, draw a card, 0 mana. Maybe we're supposed to do that. But these are the real payoffs. These are how we're going to win. Really tough one. Let me pull this one. I'm curious where chat is on this type of thing. Do we take... In fact, you know, this is like, you know, what are those, the various baubles, you know, that Modern has? Like, this is the best bauble of all time right here. But, yeah, but the Masterpiece could conceivably wheel if we've carved our lane. Prophecy won't. So there's that. So let's keep that in mind too. But I'm going to give you a quick, let's say 26 seconds for Prophecy or Elemental. Did I spell these right? I think so. It digs for Masterpiece. It's a nice turn 1 play. Yeah, it's a land shaving play. Look at that, tight. But whatever, we'll go with chat's pick. Creative Outburst. Usually I'm so psyched to get this in the old Prismari deck. Not as good here. We might just take the Anatomy or the Pop Quiz. This is fine on 4, but 4 mana, see, it feels like a lot for this format. So, yeah, I'm like Pop Quiz or Anatomy. And let's take the quiz. Yeah, free cards. Take more free cards. Not free this time, but Prophecy is. You can take another one of these, which we will. If we took that over our Masterpiece, we're certainly going to take it over that on that pack. At this point, I'm looking for anything that cycles that I can cast. This doesn't count. This isn't good. None of this matters. Befuddler. If we play the... I mean, we may just be so low on playables that we're playing something like this, but in that case, I'd rather have Effigy. So if we're afraid we're going to be low on playables, we should just take Bodies. Another Pop Quiz, but a Pillar Drop. I think we just want to recur spells. Pop Quiz, though. I don't know. Another close one. We can't main deck all of them. We need to have some... I feel like we need to be able to get something with our learn spells. That, yes, having an Annihilation in your deck is a fine draw, but what about 5 Annihilations in your deck? I mean, so I get it. I get that it's tempting to just say, hey, these are free, so we should just main deck them. But they're also free when we get them for free off of our Pop Quizzes, right? So, anyway, where are we at on Pillar Drop versus Pop Quiz? Where are we? Right now, we kind of like. I want more bigness. So we went for the Prophecy, which I said I was going to put these in the board for now. Yeah, all right. Let's take another quiz. Let me make a call here. Gotta do something. Oh, if I was gonna get this back though. Here we go. Solve the equation. 1 mana. This is basically a turn 1 copy of getting the Masterpiece. Twin Scroll comes back. Were you talking about this? You think this is... well, we'll take it. There's nothing... Again, it's a body. I don't want reject. I reject. Archivist. Snap that up. This is where we were looking for Archivist, or what was... Or maybe the... Was it... What was the other tempting one in here? Whatever. Archivist. Get in there. Hey, it did come back. Good for us. Whew! Well done, chat. We did it. Draw a card, then discard a card. This is definitely playable here. We're going to be low lands, but once we do hit, 4, 5 lands, we're going to want to ship away everything else. So we might play that. We'll see. Ooh, X spells. So, we can get, for 1 blue mana, we get an X of 3. If that cost wasn't paid, you draw X cards. So it's just a 1 mana, it's a literal ancestral. Sorry, that's a lot of words to finally arrive at ancestral, but we got there. It's just an ancestral recall. Just an ancestral. It scales up. I shouldn't say, yeah, it's underselling it to say just. Ancestral with kicker. Well, we're going to be greedy and try to wheel another Archivist. We might even take a Snarl here. But we can take this on a splash. We're already doing the red, although that's 3 mana. So that's going to be 3 mana. I don't love that over our other options here. I kind of like fixing Wheel Archivist. Any thoughts on that? What are other options? Just take the Archivist. We could take the Subtraction and get another Learn card. We looked at Ignis, and I just don't know what we're already turboing. I don't know what playing this really gets us. And Past Caller is interesting, but is a 3 mana 4/2 flyer that requires us to splash. I don't know about that. So yeah, I think we're going to wheel the Archivist. So I'm going to take the Snarl and give us a lane into some green. We have environmental sciences, so being able to take some tip-toppy green stuff. The what do we call this guild? I've already forgotten this format, and it's Tendrils. Wow, there's nothing for us here. This is Thrill of Possibility. I guess this could help us with card quality. Maybe that is the pick here. Nothing green here is particularly worth splashing. So I don't see anything else. Yeah, Defend the Campus is removal, but I'm not looking to splash white. We have this ability. I get it, but I think we're going to be happier if we find our way into a green splash. Certainly, I don't. Maybe this is a format where Defend is going to be better as well. So it's not the... Yeah, it's a reasonable suggestion, but I think Thrill is good enough. Another one where it's like, oh, this is 2 mana. That's kind of a lot here. But we could take Prismari Apprentice, 2 mana, a lot. No, that's never mind. That's just not impactful enough. We just don't want to play that. I'd rather play this, right? We'd just rather have a 4/4 for 2 than a 2/2 that can sometimes get better. Although, you know, if it wheels, we might consider running it. But we're just going to take this, and I'll throw it in the board for now. Again, I'm not saying we're putting all this in the board. I'm just putting all of my lessons in the board for now. Assistant is free, but Mastery. So red. Feels a little... Really? Search your library for up to 3 cards. Put them in your hand, shuffle, then discard 3 cards at random. Yeah, if it didn't cost me a card to do that, I'd like it a little more. I think we're on Summoning versus Assistant. And yeah, we just have 2 assistants already. And I'm asking myself, are we casting assistants for 0 on turn 1? Although what the real dream is like, we need some 6 mana, like, we need some spells we're willing to cast on turn 1, right? If we have an instant or sorcery we're willing to cast on turn 1, we can Archivist back on top. I think we take it. But well, maybe these summonings are tempting, although what we really want from that is these free ones, you know? But this is at least on plan, on color. I'm going to take Assistant, though. Bury in Books. Seems great. Cost him a draw. Another Archivist, and we're going to wheel others, we think. I mean, I think it's going to be this archivist battle. Maybe the +2/+2 is so important because it's going to be nothing but archivists staring at each other. That's the pick here. Campus. Fine. Could take general, but not really the plan. Nah. Hey, research. I didn't even see that. This was in the opener. What did I just slam something from the opening pack that was obvious? Oh yeah, I did. The ancestral. I didn't look past the ancestral with kicker. Well, now do we want 2 mana to draw 4 and discard 2 or an instant, or do we just want prophecy, free card? Curve called for. That's interesting too. Yeah, with this lurking, yeah, we have 2 prophecies, but how many 0 mana scry 2 draw cards would you play in your Magic deck? I'm gonna vote for the maximum. Maximum? Well, yeah, the most. Let's not do a 40 card introduction to prophecy. That does not seem like a real plan, but you know what I'm saying. So all right, I'm gonna walk the walk. Archivist number million. You can take that defend now. I still like it as a possibility better than that dumb battle seer. Subtraction. You know, our 4/4s are going to be bashing into each other. If we can do cantrip removal, even though it's not some great value, we'll still do it. Yep, has learn on it. Curate. Vortex Runner. We're never going to have 8 or more lands, so that's just bad. So Curate's fine. And, this doesn't matter. Not playing either of these. Although, I guess if we did want to splash the white, we might consider a campus just for the scrying. All over but the scrying. So, actually, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Get out of here, land. We'll deal with you when we understand what we want to play. And I'm gonna start everything in, and then we'll decide what to move to the board. No, we don't want that in. Put that in though. So we're never running this, right? Nope. Not good enough. This can be considered for main. Definitely not a 5-land deck. So I think that's good. I want some searchables in the board, and maybe like elemental summoning. Yeah, we can take a look at Oracle Learn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 learn spells. And then how many lessons did we end up with? Oh, wait. T lesson. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lessons. Yeah, right, because these aren't going to be turn 1 plays anyway. But so this and this in the board make a lot of sense to me. And then the colorless one's main deck. I'm a little tempted to run the Annihilation in the board, simply to have 6 copies of it, right? Like I don't fetching one of these with Learn isn't as exciting. So David put all lessons in the board. Yeah, I think it's not obvious to me just because these are free. Like yeah, it's free if we draw it. but it's also free if we draw and cast one of our 6 learn spells. So you like Sciences in the board? Sciences is where, if we get this in the opener, though, it's a free land of our choice, which could really matter on turn 1. Whereas all of our learn stuff that is 1, I guess we could still do, yeah, Yeah, I think I'm going to run Sciences and board the Annihilation. I'm going to, like, these on turn... The reason why I'm keeping these in is all 4 of these are pretty great on turn 1. These are all great on turn 1 on the play. This and these are not great turn 1 on the play, so I like them in the board. I think that's a pretty reasonable line to draw there. Also, we're trying, like, I may put more on the board because, you know, like what do we think is bad? So now let's, like, just take a look at spells we just don't think belong in this deck. Forget mana for a second. Like, what is our get out of here cards? Like Twin Scroll Shaman, right? I don't think we got there with that. We got 2 Enthusiastic Studies, but it's still not quite there. Yeah, I was thinking, my reasoning here was that we could get rid of lands, but we have the extra lesson. We have the Rummage from Learn, right? So yeah, let's cut that. I also like that Assistant, the main deck Sciences, the 4 main deck 0 mana sorceries give us play with Assistant if we want it. Like, there's no real reason to not go Prophecy into Assistant, putting Prophecy on top if both are in opener. And with 3 each, we should be doing that a lot. So now we're at 10 mana. We don't, let's think about mana. What's the top of our curve? We want to be at probably 4 so that we can 2 spell, like play 2 and 3 spell, play Elemental Masterpiece and a couple of other things. I'm actually, really what I'm saying is 10 enough? Like, are we playing 10 mana here? Quarter of our deck is land, giving us a kind of a 2-ish land opener likelihood, especially with the hand smoother. Yeah. So I was just counting 10 before even thinking about that, but 10 with 3 prophecies in the Sciences, it's really 11, because Sciences is just straight up land, so that's 11. And then Prophecy effectively digging you too deep is shrinking that deck to a much effectively smaller size. So I think we can just add land to this if we don't hate anything else we're running here, and I really don't hate anything else we're running here. Our win conditions are interesting here. I mean, we're just trying to go wide on cheap Archivists and Masterpieces, and then maybe some flying in for the win. But yeah, this is a weirdo. We'll see how it goes. And then didn't end up splashing any green. There's no splash here that we care about. Summoning we can cast on the blue. So then we'll bring in the Campus, the Scry. This is really for the dual land. Again, we're pretty unlikely to Scry. Yeah, it's still a dual land though, right? But you might be right that this is such a fast, powerful format that not having land that doesn't ETB tap for the color you're looking for might not be good enough. And a lot of our draw is blue. So if we cut this and just lean blue, it's probably better for us. I wish we had 2 Sciences. I would love a Science in the board and a Science in the main. I don't know. That's been one of the more interesting parts of this format, is figuring out where these colorless lessons go. We'll be more likely to see it in games if it's in the board, but it cannot fix our mana on turn 1 from the board. that's why I want it main. But I don't know. That I'm not certain of it. That's what they say. That's the interesting puzzle being presented here. So definitely some interesting puzzles being presented by the format. Now I should pick the ones I want before I suggest. Anybody redeem? No. How about we got the Grixis colors, so we can go with these. Like that. I think I like that. Greed pile for sure. They made me this way, though. We'll be fiery here. Here we go.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Lest anyone forget, there will be no reading here. Appa goes first, we lose. Oh, we have Ancestral and a free card. This will be fine. We can do this. Yeah, this looks great. Looks great. Oh, look, our opponent knows what's up. Is that Paolo's actual username? I doubt it. All right, I guess we start on prophecies. And I think we keep the sciences and fix the blue. Thin it a little bit, and then prophecy again. Solve the equation as a keep. And probably go get our other masterpiece. Or let's take a look. Yeah. Masterpiece. These are Jumpstart Planeswalker lands. Well, 2 mana up. We'll see what they've got for it. I'm going to make them have it. We got a masterpiece behind anyway. Not to mention an ancestral. So they did a rummage. It's gonna be battling masterpieces. Oh, what are this? Who knows? I gotta read? No! I don't know what that did, but it didn't seem too bad in the end. Good. Whew! Don't have to read. That's the main thing here. Are we going for some more mana, or are we just landing a masterpiece? If we ancestral, we are pretty good to find a blue source, although we have oh, maybe we've shuffled. Could also get back our solve in a turn. Yeah, I'm gonna make him deal with it. I'm gonna make him deal with it. Yeah, that's true. We have the Warden worst case fallback. All the trouble is we're probably also discarding a lot if we draw 3. So I'm just gonna Masterpiece for now. It's smart enough to no. You don't have to worry about that, Alexis. They did that right. You can play either one. Uh-oh. We didn't get any of those. We're gonna have to get our extra ones the old-fashioned way. In fact, what I think I'm gonna do is put the other one on top and then actually use Enthusiastic Study to win one of these combats. But actually we can... I don't even need to do that. Let's draw 3 and then get draw 3 back. Although, I don't know what we're drawing. Like, we need our masterpieces to win. So, well, let's start. I'm going to start this, though. X5 this. Oh, wait. Do I get this wrong? Oh, no. Sorry, I canceled. I got X of 3 it. X of 3. Merely ancestral mode. That's a good play too. I like that hat. We did find some extra mana, so we can go. I like the cogwork against the 4/4s. I'm gonna play that. The hourglass gets me. Like, I really should have thrilled before I did that, but we're still gonna do that. I like the plan. And then let's go... I'll go Cogwork here. It blocks all of them. And we can Assistant... Yeah, I think we will Assistant... We could Assistant Ancestral Recall, but really what we want are endless Elemental Masterpieces at this point. So I like that. It's kind of funny. That's just the nature of this format. Could have offered attacks and trades and stuff before I showed what my full game plan was. That would have been better, but as it is, here I am wondering whether I should still offer. If they kill the assistant or remove the archivist, sorry, then it becomes worse. So I'm going to say no attacks. I don't like the situation where they take 8, kill our archivist, and then offer me 16. And so far, our predictions are coming true. Prismari Mirror. Anybody thinking about this format is going to come to the exact same conclusions we did. Well, we were looking for a possible teamer. I even had the green splash at the ready, but there was nothing really worth going for there. And there you go. That's exactly why I chose not to attack, because this is a double block we can, or, you know, a trade-off we can make, no problem. So, we can Mountain Heated Debate get rid of one of those. Masterpiece and hold up Enthusiastic Study. That seems fine. Pillar Drop is good too. That's fair. So you want to go, we can hold the Heated Debate up too. It's an instant. So then that's fair. Then, because then we can have Heated Debate and Enthusiastic Study up. I like that. We don't need to get Sciences right now. I like this plan a lot. I think we're in good shape. Their rationale is just they like to take it. I mean, it's just design space. One of the fundamental ongoing business of Magic the Gathering is mining design space for profit. That's what Wizards of the Coast does. Mines Magic and other games, but Magic R&D mines design space for profit. And design space comes in more than just different ways you can manipulate the comprehensive rules to make new cards. You can also manipulate the comprehensive rules, and so it's one of the problems, especially with digital Magic experiences. I've talked about this fairly recently. I'll try to keep it somewhat short, but I think people generally find it kind of interesting. So I'll repeat. But you know, they're in the business of selling Magic experiences and designing design space to do it. But the nature of the cycle of Magic is that sets peak right after launch. The interest is high, and then there's this long, slow dropping tail, the trough, the dreaded trough. And a lot of the work that I was doing on Magic Online and then eventually on Arena in terms of thinking about this stuff was, how do we make more money during the trough? It's easy to make lots of money when you launch a Magic set. How do you even it out? How do you keep interest up? How do you keep maintain engagement in your product when the interest in the latest set is waning, especially when these things get solved so quickly? The puzzles get solved very quickly collectively with the internet these days. And the result is that things can get stale quickly. And so mining design space in whole format overhauling, even if you know you're making kind of a garbage format, even if you know that there's a reason things have costs, there's, you know, R&D worked really hard to price these spells and we're just throwing that out the window. Why would we do that? Because it is like, you know, what do you call them? The resuscitators. You're just shocked to the system. We're trying to bring the patient back here. Come back to us. Even if it only works for a day, come back to us. So it's really just variety. Variety is the spice of Magic, and people are just trying to feel something. And, you know, and we have, to be fair, I knock these formats pretty heavily, and they tend to get stale pretty quickly. But I've had fun so far this morning, this time zone. I've had fun so far thinking through the implications of this tweak to this set, right? It's not even just this tweak to Magic. It's this tweak to this draft environment. And it's a different puzzle here. And it might be ultimately an easy puzzle. Like, we solved it pretty quickly. But we're still being surprised by things. We're still seeing cards that we never saw in the draft and going, ooh, that's interesting, right? So, you know, all right, Wizards. I'm not going to say this isn't fun. I am going to say I doubt it's going to stay fun for very long, but I think the people involved in making it knew that quite well, and it was part of the design. By design, that this isn't fun for very long. All right, first turn Dust Speaker. Let's try that. And Sciences, potentially we can get the Sciences back to keep drawing lands if we want to get all the lands we need. But look at that. Look at these Moxen getting moxed. But again, it's like they're not even that, they're very good, but they're not amazing. We're all gonna be doing amazing stuff. Now, do we offer our Dust Speaker? Because it'll just get exiled and then we move on. We could also just go pillar drop assistant, getting back this, and then see if they want to use their action on pillar drop. I don't know. We can also just make the trade, right? We can just say, hey, we're going to trade Annihilation for our Dust Speaker, and we get a card out of it. That's not the worst, but yeah, I think we can take some time and see if we can draw that out. So let's do it that way. And I think I do. Do we want a third land? I think it's reasonable, but we don't need to. I think I will. I think one more environmental sciences at least is fine here as a starting point. And I don't want to assistant again. I'm actually going to hold that for later recursion, I think. A 2/1 flyer, not that big a deal in the format. Its real job is to get us big value back on top of our library, so let's wait until we do that. And then, do we want... We have more red than blue, but I think we probably want more blue in the long run. Let's start with an attack. Not making anything hasty. Could even enthusiastic study and get that back with the other assistant. I kind of like that. I might do that. Study up a token. I don't know what token we're talking about. I was just going to do it here. Oh, study up to get a token. I'm with you now. I was like, I thought you were targeting a token. I'm like, I didn't know what, which one. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, definitely the 4/4 side of town. And then we can do sciences. I think we want blue, right? I'm just being greedy, Prof. I was figuring we're going to make the other one bigger later. I thought I would just get the flat rate one now and then make the other one bigger later. But given that, let's get another island. Because the other one requires island. And then we can curate. And I actually like getting the study back here and holding up the curate. And that's instant, so we can wait. Go blank. We were talking about how that is kind of an interesting spell for the format. We're going to ditch a land and probably the summoning. Dust Speaker is a better creature. No matter what, it's going to get picked off with this anyway. We can curate. It doesn't really matter. Like you know, if we find a good card, I guess we should. Let's do it because curate's the other possibility anyway. But if we completely miss on curate, then that's fine anyway. So actually, yeah, we can take Archivist. Do we want to keep the study? We could also just grab the study and pitch that and leave the Archivist on top. So we'll submit 0, draw the study, discard it, and then draw Archivist. I like Archivist here. We also discard Dust Speaker, and then we get Archivist Summoning. Do we think this is going to actually... It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And get Archivist Summoning. Feels like no matter what, they're going to get us anyway. That's... Actually, I forgot about the Graveyard Exile there. That's a toughie. We have this and didn't play it. Doesn't seem that important, but maybe Oppo will show us what's up. But it doesn't even really do that thing. That's what we figured out, JC, right? I don't know what's happening, but I assume we're dead.
I shall teach you much.
No, you're not. I thought we were, JC, and then we actually did it. You need... The loop requires 2 red, and the card produces 1. You run out of red. Well, yeah, Mavinda doesn't do much, but right now she blocks the assistant, which is kind of plan A. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out. But the trouble is at 19 facing the big side. I suppose I should read this. Discard a card, return this to its owner's hand. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, reveal top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it by paying 1. Yeah, sure. I think we're unlikely to win this game. But trying for Mavinda and getting in with the assistant here seems like the best plan we got. I just don't know. I guess we have double blocks on the ground that are solid. Yeah, Oppo has drafted. Oppo and I, we took the same approach as Oppo. They have a much better deck. We'll see what we can do about it. But, I mean, I think some of their bottom end, like, we declined to play our Battleseer and our Ignis, but the top end is what's wrecking us, not the stuff we declined to play. Although this is, to be fair, helping them find their bombs. Yeah, we didn't see a single letter of acceptance. We did not pass a 1. We never said, you know what, we're going to take something else. There are things you would take over them, but I'm just saying we never even got the chance. So, gotta try and take the 1-for-1 here. They take out our Archivist, and then we don't have this super blocker against the other 4/4s. But we can't win this race taking 7 here and then the attacks next turn. I don't know how we win, honestly. Maybe it's a... yeah, we can get a pump to get 5 damage in, but anyway, we're in trouble. Not expecting to win this one, but not gonna scoop it. We want any of these in the deck. Removal doesn't help us. Assistant doesn't really... Assistant gets another thing in the air. Maybe the assistant back is solid enough. It's not really. This is where I'm just kind of flailing. I don't know. Can't Archivist bounce that? I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, let's try and go from making legal magic plays into a plan. Do we have a plan? If we could... Well, certainly drawing a land is not the plan, but it's like if we could... for example, Igneous Inspiration goes to face. So, like, our out was to find a draw that gives us a draw to Inspiration plus Pump. Although I think we've used both our Pump spell. No, we have an Enthusiastic Study. So, like, that's it. Like, we have... but now I think we're probably dead. I'll send the assistant because we need to be doing... Oh, that just dies there. Yeah, we're just so dead. All right, that's enough. Gonna make him do it. I mean, yeah, we're dead if they play right, and Oppo clearly looked like someone playing right, so... But here you go. This is why it's so unlikely for us to trophy here. It's going to be largely smart thinking players doing largely the same thing and flipping gigantic Timmy-sized coins. All right. Keeping this. We can Prophecy and Assistant it back. Looking for some red mana too. There's some red mana. Having red mana this turn doesn't do anything though, but Archivist does, so we're going to swap the order here. And do we Assistant? I can Assistant Prophecy, but I already know what I want to draw. It's the Mountain. So there's an argument for just not bothering with this, although it's effectively a free 2/1 flyer and a free scry of whatever is underneath the mountain, right? I mean, that's not nothing. And it gets us on board and attacking additionally, so I'm going to do it, even though it's not amazing. It's not amazing because we already know that we want to keep that mountain. If it was a mystery what was coming, it would be quite nice. This is why we didn't play those. Feels real rough to take a turn off in this format. And we do find that there's a pillar drop that wouldn't suck to draw with the Masterpiece available, so we'll keep all of this. I still think this is a play format because of what we're doing here. Oh, should have sent, right? Come on. Give up, Oppo? Jesus. 4/4. I guess we just take the thing that stops them from putting anything in the way here. I mean, inspiration goes to their face, so... We did the thing better than them this time. And yeah, I think I'm off of the dual lands. That just seems too costly. As costly as it is to not have the mana you're looking for. Boy, ETB tapped turn 1. You just want to draft it? You can probably do that on... just go to MTGAdraft.tk Alexis, and you can draft it without having to play it to your heart's content. I do need a bio break though, so I'm gonna do that, and then we'll see if we can luck our way to 7 here. Give me a minute. Hey gang, thanks for waiting. Let's dive right back in. More Prophecy Assistant opening. Archivist for free if we don't find anything else we want to do. Like, a Prophecy Assistant Archivist turn 1 continues to seem great. Ooh, no blue mana, but an Ancestral. Do we keep the Ancestral knowing that we're going to be doing some additional digging? That we can Assistant back the Prophecy? A hard time ditching Ancestral. We're going to put Pillar Drop down, though, because if I'm keeping that, we need to prioritize getting the island after that. So, sorry, Pillar Drop. We'll catch you later. Go for the 4-5 over the 4-3. That's true. Maybe that was correct for turn 1. Just went for size, but that is an extra point. If we had more straight up like pop quizzes, we'd probably just cut effigy from the deck. This is probably our worst card among them. Just because, again, 4-5 just so much more important in this format than 4-3 because of all the 4-4s. Yeah, I can probably find some. You want to get that action on? Let's see. Here's, start here anyway. Wait.
¿Dónde estás? La biblioteca. Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
Assistant, we're gonna scry to the bottom. We could keep the Thrill if we want to use it to discard and draw 2. That digs us deeper. That's give us a little extra shot at the island, right? So I'll do that. Just got to figure out where we're ditching, and I'm probably just the effigy, I guess. It's not doesn't really matter too much here. Man, we dug and didn't get there, and this has reach, so we don't even have attacks. Oh well. Got a couple more Archivists to drop, even if we don't find an island. Yeah, shaving lands with letters would be so nice. And start from scratch. We passed one of those, and maybe we should have prioritized it even more highly than we did. I mean, I looked at it, but I didn't really put it on the scale. We're talking about this being something. Let's see how off Oppo can go. Thing is, the artist never gets above 2 toughness without other help, so Assistant right now just is happy to offer a trade if they do anything to attack with that right now. 2 top, just what you want to see in this format. Yeah, I mean, I said that it stays at 2 unless they do something else, and of course there could be something else, but... Yeah, maybe it's less about the Storm Kiln attacking and more about the Storm Kiln just allowing you to, well, storm off. Combo. I mean, this is the like I told you the fun part was over, right? We did the fun part. That was talking while drafting. That was the fun part. It's somewhat fun to see that, though. I mean, but the thing is, it's like, because it's cheaty magic, it doesn't even, it's like, I don't know. If I set the world record for some athletic event, you'd be like, oh, that's incredible. And then if I said, well, I cheated, I mean, you're like, oh, so what did you accomplish? Well, I set the world record against a bunch of other people cheating to try and set the world record. Well, that's going to be, back to what I said, a lot of coin flippy results. But if you like big Timmy action, if you just like seeing magic mechanics operating at scale, it's reasonably fun. But yeah, as Hexstar says, though, it's just not a great choice for a win your way into this finals, because it's not a very skill-based format. Keep here. We get to find ourselves a red source. Find ourselves a 4/4 maker. Well, definitely doing this much. I'm gonna get our red. And then, do we want that back? We don't actually need more mana, but we could go curate. We could, like, curate or solve back. That's interesting. We could solve, assistant, and then resolve. That seems fine. We can resolve for card draw if we want, but I want to get Masterpiece as a starting point here. Cheap beater here. Good play in answer to the whole biblioplex or whatever this, the archivist. Sorry, archivist. But we're gonna masterpiece it up here and see if we can't block that Groff. All right. Anatomy's probably going to go on the aerialist. That's annoying. God, we just got to take 10 here. This one looks over too. Archivist is great for the aerialist, and if Masterpiece lands, we can still block on the ground. I think that's right.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Let's see, have I missed anything else? Meme-wise, I don't know. Well, we did one of these before and I didn't do it.
And in conclusion, may I please remind you that it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty.
All right, so now the question is, are we taking or chumping? I'm in the take camp. We could lose to pump, I get that. But one of our outs to the aerialist situation here, well, we do have, let's see, it's the Ward 2 that's tough, but we could get, we could Arcane Subtraction to get Prophecy and pay. So maybe I am supposed to chump knowing that I have that subtraction method. We don't want to lose to Apprentice either, not being able to be blocked. So that's the big one of our problems here is that we don't want to take it and then just lose to unblockable Apprentice. Although, yeah, I think we got to do that. Subtraction will help us mitigate that for a turn or whatever. But trouble is we gotta do this now to go fetch the thing and to kill the thing. Study shows up. If I knew that was on top, I mean, Hat said that, pointed that out, that this was an out too, but I was trying to do the sure thing, not the top deck thing. We can at least Prophecy here, though. That's free. Pillar Drop has Reach, so that buys us a turn. At 5 power, it is a chump, though. Unless we subtract it, but we can't pillar and subtract the ward. I didn't think the aerialist was a big deal in the format, but the ward 2 is real when we're all playing such low mana. Solve the equation could get us a spell, but that again we can't pay. So really, we need to have it be free. So all we can do is. I can even send one of these, see how they want to block, but that's not going to work. So it's all just academic, really. Oh, sorry, I got to choose this, and we're going to go, like, we don't want either of these because of that. Barry! Okay. I'm glad I had a timeout. That's different. Now we can do potentially multiple things. Like maybe I curate... and we can just subtract. Oh, but Barry, again, I need to use all the mana on that. So, because of the ward. But I like it. I'm going to stay back and go with the Barry plan here. We'll see what they want to swing away with. Okay, we got a double block on the ground as well, that we can see how they want to react to. I mean, we can't really take, again, the 5 in the air, so we're kind of priced into the Barry plan, but let's see what they do anyway. Barry plan, indeed. Again, I'm just trying to figure out if is there anything we can do. We can't, there's nothing we can do if we don't take 5, and I just think we can't take 5. So we're going to let this work and do what we got to do on this side of things. This looks like probably it for us, though. What can you do for us, Prophecy? We need some help. Might need one of those to have a chance, but then what am I doing? With 4 mana, I'm curating, but that's spending a mana to define what's below anyway, so let's just bin those and draw. And solve the equation can get us the 2 creatures we need to put on some kind of block, and then subtract can save us on the other. So, all right, we got a plan. We subtract to stay alive. We find a 0 mana removal spell, and we are pretty cleanly mostly here. We're just mostly. Just mostly.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
The real doom here is when they do something to pump that apprentice. If that's a land or whatever, then we are actually in this. If they have a 5 mana spell to pump the apprentice, we're not in this. Although at that point we could use the arcane subtraction differently, so let's see what they got. Could also just get a fractal summoning and make a 7/7. That might be better than an annihilation. Annihilation is pretty clean though. Gives them an extra card is the problem, of course, but I'm going to risk it. Let's take the annihilation, take the clean out. So huge that we got that trade. Now annihilation has a different target, but let's start with a... Let's see, the annihilation is free, so we could actually X and draw more. Then we don't have to just ancestral here. We don't have to just ancestral. How about draw 4, and then we've got some action behind. Yeah, I like draw 4 here. So X of 4. Play another land. And we got kind of the millhouses here. We're gonna... Let's debate this thing. And I suppose I should... Well, I'll curate because the plan... the curate is basically free. I should be doing this first. Now the ward here isn't too bad. We've got inspiration to get it, and enough mana to do that, and even pop quiz. Here's some more mana, if that wasn't enough. But let's inspire, and then go get that fatty maker. Boom. Fractal summoning. Just do that right now for a 6/6. But we could also pop quiz. I'm going to pop quiz. Oh, it's 7. A 6/6 on this board probably is the grown-up thing to do. Let's be grown-ups. Or is it 5? Did I get this wrong? No, it's 6, yeah? Right? 6? 6. That's what I wanted to see. Cashing in letters. Wow, that's not a great sign. Makes me feel like we're about to get blown out. But we have... Yeah, or we're just dead. Is it your favorite format? Hey, look, gang. In the format I said was going to be a coin flip, in the 2-2 match, we lost to a top deck before we were going to take over. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. It's exactly what we signed up for and exactly what we knew was coming. And there you go. Happiness is the delta between expectations and reality, and our delta was right on. we knew what was fun about this, and we had that fun. We knew what was going to be weak about this, and there it was. And we killed some time on this earth successfully together. I enjoyed it. So, well done. You know, like, it is what it is, gang. If you set your expectations accordingly, it doesn't have to suck. But if you think it's going to be more than it is, it most definitely will. Yeah, change of pace. We solved some puzzles together. It was fun discussing it. I really did have a good time talking over the ins and outs of what the implications of this rule meant to this draft. And that was the best part of it. The spike in me wants that third event token so much, but I tend to have one event tolerance for these things. I mean, I guess I could do another one maybe later. I'm not going to do it now. I think I'm just going to call this one. Again, I'm still in a major juggle. I'm hoping that my time will be freed up before the new year enough to do some stream improvements. But let's say that this is 10 gives you this special event. You get 3 entries with 8 tokens. 10 tokens gives you the special event. What does that mean, gives you the special event? You just win. You don't even have to play in it. You just get the prize from it. I don't know. Anyway, we're certainly not getting 8. We might get 3 if I put some time into it, but we'll see. It doesn't matter that much. It's just fake resources on events to get more fake resources. But we had fun. That's cool. Bye, gang. I don't know about that Yamakura Bo. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, deck was sweet, but it was as sweet as every other deck we faced. It's picking nits. Everybody figured out draft expensive stuff. Snow Day was one I was hoping we would find. We just lost to Snow Day. It never showed up for us, but that was one I was on the lookout for. Snow Day seems super busto, and it just won Oppo the game. So there you go. Tron throwing a gift sub to Siriana. So kind. Very nice. Yeah, no moxes and nothing bombier than the ability to make... Ancestral with Upside is pretty bomby in the format, but you still need to find over-the-top action with it, and we didn't really have that. Oh, I see. Okay. It's a whole different event. Qualifier. Wow, interesting. All right. Any raid captains? It's a short stream today, but you know, it's a what did you call it? I think it was one of my European viewers was calling this week Winterval? I was thinking Winter Mission also works. Enjoy your winter mission before New Year's, and we'll have some fun next week. Let's see. Semelin, raid captain redeemed, so I won't even go looking. Thanks, Timber. All right, gang. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Gonna get back to other work and turning back the heat. I actually turned the heat off today because it was warm enough in the house and everybody was all cuddled up in bed when I was streaming, but I'm gonna go flip the heat back on. Snowed again last night, got another few inches on the ground. So yeah. Gauntlet tomorrow.